Looks like we're good now.
We're live.
Let's go.
Welcome to a live D&D Morning Show. So we thought this morning we would go live for a little change-a-rooney.
Oh, change-a-rooney.
A little change-a-rooney.
Yeah, we want to change it up a bit. We thought it'd be fun to do a live show in case anyone was interested in asking questions or just coming in with us in the morning live. That's might be fun.
It's fun.
Or maybe everyone's sleeping.
Maybe.
Or off to work.
Who knows? This is our work. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for joining us. If you're watching live or if you're going to watch this at a later time, we're here with you at another edition of the D&D Morning Show.
So let's get started. So today we've got a brand new fun fact. We're going to be talking about why the 80-20 rule doesn't work. It's kind of Drew's idea, so you'll be listening to him jabber on about that.
Jabber on.
We've got a product, Complete Truth Protein here, and then we have a recipe and a quote, a brand new recipe. So that's what's up today. So let's get started with the fun fact, and I'm going to tell you about the fun fact because this is about Drew.
Look,
so
we're on TV.
I guess I'm being interrupted.
Sorry. I just wanted to pull this up to make sure it's going live. We've got a new program here. It's called eCam Live. So
what is eCam Live?
Oh, well, we got some cool things that we can put together, like insert slides and videos, like even rate things up. I'll make a better one, but the words at the top of the screen says D&D Morning Show Live. So we can do different things with this program. I'm kind of excited about.
You just have to figure it out.
Just got to figure it out.
All right. So
That's...
is the camera on? The little, this camera at the top of the computer?
No, he's not.
Oh, it's not using that one. Okay.
We have a better camera as well. So you'll see this camera different quality than our usual fancy DSLR camera.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Anyways, what are you doing there?
That was my agreeing face.
Oh, it's a green face. All right. So what were you saying there?
I was saying I was going to get started with the fun fact.
What's our fun?
Because it's about you. So as you guys know, because you know us very well, we don't watch a whole lot of TV. We might watch a show in the evening or occasionally a movie or something, but we don't watch a whole lot of TV. But when it's football season, oh my gosh. Or football playoffs, is that how you say it?
More so playoffs.
More so playoffs.
It's important.
Holy moly.
Sudden death.
Drew blocks out times in his schedule just to watch TV, watch the playoffs.
It's called time blocking.
He blocks it off. But anyway, so I don't like to watch football very much, so I always schedule different things to do on Sunday. So I come home from yoga the other evening, and I can't find Drew. I'm like, oh, I open the door to the house, and hello, nobody answers. So I'm like, okay, he's not home, which is weird because he's supposed to be watching football, but I didn't really think much about it. And I'm in the kitchen doing what I do, and then all of a sudden I go to the bedroom, and there's Drew laying on the bed, headphones on, the computer has the football game on, and then the iPad has a movie on. So he's watching the movie and the game at the same time.
Two screens.
He had two screens going. I'm like, what are you doing? No screens to two screens. I didn't even know it was home.
I was trying to maximize my time in front of like games, movies, because I feel like sometimes I don't get a chance to do that stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna lay around, do nothing, and that's what I was doing.
So weird, isn't it? I would not have the attention span to do two at the same time. Hard enough for me to sit down and watch a movie, let alone put another game or put something else on beside it. Which screen do you watch? I had to go in like this. Boing, 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 boing.
Well, you know what the thing was is I wanted to watch the game. Like I wanted to know because usually, like if I miss it for like we're at work or at an event, I usually just see highlights. So I always feel like I miss out, and not always. Like sometimes I feel like I miss out on like what's going on in the world because we're like just feel like we're always doing work. So I had the game on, but it was a game that I wasn't super interested in. But I didn't want to feel like I missed it.
Oh my!
So I had that game on mute. I don't always love the announcers, and then I was watching a movie, so that's why I had both. And then usually I'm in front of a computer, like working often, and I was like, I wanted to be somewhere else instead of like in the living room where the TV was. So I thought it was cool. Like I had like a little cocoon. I had like
in the bedroom.
I was like in the bedroom, like I had like the little stacked up, and then I had the screen here and the game here, and I just loved it. It was like a little my safe place.
Yeah, because and another reason why it was weird is because we don't bring screen time into the bedroom. We don't have TV in the bedroom or bring phones or anything like that into the bedroom because we know how it affects sleep. So we keep that out of the bedroom. So it was so funny because it's like the last place I would go to look for Drew watching the football game.
No, that's a little fun fact for you. We brought you inside a little bit.
Yes. So let's move on. Drew, we're going to talk about the 80-20 rule today and why it doesn't work. That's what we're talking about. Now, this is Drew's idea, so I'm going to let him explain.
I'm just checking the phone here to see if there's any questions. When we have this new program, we'll actually be able to see your questions and comments.
They'll pop up
on our screen.
Yeah,
which is cool because usually when we do Facebook Live in the Facebook program, we can't see them for some reason. So, anyways, again, a new thing. I'm just kind of experimenting. We're guessing and testing. So we always appreciate you giving us the opportunity to have an audience to try that stuff with.
Yeah. You guys are always the first.
So
whether it's good or bad.
So I want to talk about the 80-20 rule. Now I think about these kind of things all the time because you always hear like excuses. You always hear like reasons why things won't work out. And to me, I often hear like this 80-20, and it seems like it comes up all the time. Like there's always 80-20. Now 80-20, like maybe the boring history for some is like 80-20 is like this guy, they call it Pareto. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Pareto's law. And he found out, he's like this guy, this old Italian guy way back when. And he was talking about, or he did this study of how you get 80% of your results from 20% of whatever it is. So you get most of your results from a very small portion of what you're doing. So I think people kind of abuse that, to be honest with you. They're like, oh, everything's 20. So let's say you have like a big project, or you have money coming in from a bunch of different areas, for example. Well, 80% of that money only comes from like 20% of your customers, let's say, for example. So
okay, just hold on here.
I lost you.
This is okay. Because I always thought that 80-20 meant that like you could do, I don't know, I'm thinking of it differently. 80% of the time, for example, if we relate it to health and fitness, I can be good, or I can behave 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time it's okay to like splurge, or it's okay to not exercise.
Yes.
How does that relate to what you're talking about?
Completely lost Dorothy. I was just explaining. That's where we're going. You chopped me off there. Okay. I was explaining. I was explaining where the 80-20 rule came from,
and how we just molded it into something different to make it more pliable to our lifestyle, what we want.
Just make it more convenient. And we kind of turn it into an excuse. Is where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I get it now.
Okay, so now that we know that, I just wanted to explain briefly where it came from. Like that's where it came from, was like a business. That's what they teach in business.
So when the 80-20 rule came about, it had totally different meaning than what it does now. Well,
at least how we're using it. So it was much different, and you still use it. Like they teach, like in business school, like break it down where your most of your income comes from, because it's usually from 20%, like 80%. Most of your income comes from 20% of like your customers or your best products, for example. So that's why I said it's a bit boring, but we took that in the health and wellness industry. Now we kind of stole it, and we're like, now our 80-20 is we can do whatever we want 20% of the time, and 80% can be 80% of the time we eat healthy, we exercise, and 20% we do nothing, eat whatever we want. So it's kind of been manipulated, is what I'm saying. But for me, that's an excuse, like, because if we say, this is just my 20%, it's an off day, oh, it's just my 20%. I'm going to have an extra dessert. How do we tell? Like, we don't know. And we're 100% on the mindset that you can have like your little cheat meals, or like make whatever your lifestyle changes are, make them sustainable for your lifestyle.
But I think we've like you use the word manipulate, but that 20%, like, it's unmeasurable, really, because there is always something, right? Like, it can always be 20% of the time because there's always something coming up. Like, we often talk about how the holidays aren't just the holidays, and they trickle into our whole life because, you know, it's Christmas, then it's Valentine's Day, then it's Easter. Like, if that's what you're gauging is your 20%, then your 20% is all the time.
That's really the 80%.
Yeah.
80%, like 20% is where you stay on track.
So that's interesting because if maybe you have been following the 80-20 rule, you're probably flip-flopped, right? Like 80% of the time, you know, we think we're doing 80-20, but really it's flip-flop.
Really doing 20-80.
Yeah. I would say, yes.
Yeah, it's a good, but I just think it's a mindset. Like, it's a mindset, and I feel like we use this as an excuse. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with that. But that's just where I'm coming from on my standpoint when I say that the 80-20 rule doesn't work. Because if we're always like, oh, that's part of my 20% where I can do whatever I want, that's a continual excuse. It's always 20%. Instead of saying we stay on track all the time. Like, think about if you tried to stay on track all the time. It's almost impossible if you, not impossible, but I mean, like, if you go to family and friends, if you go to if you go and have a dessert, if you go have a dinner, like, that stuff is okay. We're saying that that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like if you say that, if you have that mindset and you say, and you always use that, like, oh, it's just the 20% where I feel like I should be able to do whatever I want, then you're always using that.
It's always the excuse.
Yeah.
The excuse.
So that's what I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. So next, we can move on in our agenda.
Yeah, you want to do our product?
Yeah, we wanted to highlight Complete Truth Protein. Ding, 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 ding. If you're not sure about Complete Truth Protein, right? If you're not using it, Complete Truth Protein is just, I don't know, Drew, you explain.
No, I just want, go ahead.
He's like,
well, it's Complete Truth Protein. Most of you know what it is. I'm sure many of you have used it. If you haven't, we use this one in smoothies. This green one has maca, stevia, then we have hemp hearts, and quinoa. And it's Complete Truth Protein has been doing really well for us here recently. We've been pushing it out more and sharing knowledge and how to use it and at our events. So we thought we would share it with you guys a bit more and let you know. Of course, we always offer discounts for our members if you're watching this inside our monthly membership group. And it's just a great way to nutritionize your body and give your body a little boost of energy. So
that is usually the number one thing that people tell us when they start using Complete Truth Protein is, wow, I can't believe how much energy I've gained since using it.
Right. Because
it's food. And food gives us energy.
So the more your body can utilize, digest, and absorb a nutrient that you're putting in, the more energy you're going to have. And if you don't have good quality nutrients going in your body, then you're not going to have that quality, that quality energy.
The natural, I would say, energy.
Sustainable energy.
As opposed to the other energy. That's not natural.
You
know what I mean?
The spike.
Like the sugar energy or the caffeine energy or stuff like that. Like, that's unnatural.
That's right.
This, natural.
All right, so what do we have next?
We're going to talk about the recipe of the week now. So, yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited. And you know what? I have something else to say. So I thought it was really funny. Well, not funny, but interesting. Because yesterday we delivered locally. So we had a local delivery and somebody came by actually to pick up a bag of protein from us, which is always super exciting to meet the people using our product and the people who support us and our fans. So that was super cool. But one of the things that she said to me was, oh, it was Sunday, so she's like, oh, I thought I'd stop by and see Dorothy like whipping something up in the kitchen. Because it's true, like on Sundays is usually my creative like kitchen kind of day where I make new recipes. So anyway, Yeah, yesterday was Sunday, for example, and I did whip up a new recipe. At this time, Valentine's Day is approaching, and I wanted to make a protein ball that was Valentine's Day themed or ish. So what I did was I took our recipe for Complete Truth protein balls, which is peanut butter, oats, Complete Truth protein, honey, and some chocolate chips if you want. And then what I did was I just added some thawed frozen raspberries. So I took frozen raspberries out of the freezer, kind of for a different reason. But then I'm getting creative in the kitchen, trying to think of how I'm going to make these protein balls Valentine's Day themed. And the thawed berries are sitting there, so I just throw them in. Just getting creative, just throw them in, and it tasted fantastic.
Delicious.
Fantastic. And then I just rolled them in coconut, like shaved coconut or coconut flakes. Delicious.
So go over the recipe again. Did you say Complete Truth and vanilla are using all that?
Complete Truth protein,
Yep.
oats, peanut butter, honey. What was the other one?
Could you use
one more.
chocolate chips are optional?
Oh, chocolate chips are optional. And then the raspberries and coconut flakes. Yeah.
They're so good. Dorothy like just whips things up in the kitchen. And they taste like a piece of heaven. And she's like, "Oh, so happy it turned out."
Well, it's funny because Drew gets to be my taste tester. Very important job. So I always like make something and then like here, Drew, try it. I hope it works out. And rarely does he say, "Yeah."
Because they work out so well. Dorothy once every 6 months something doesn't turn out. Dorothy's like, "Oh my gosh,
the world is ending."
And I'm like, that most people experiment and mostly doesn't turn out.
But it's good. These protein balls are.
So that's something we're going to feature in our event coming up.
Yes.
So if you missed the event, we'll have links and emails coming out at a later date. But if you get a chance, come check us out live at our event. It's going to be super fun. We're going to be talking about these Valentine's Day treats again, which is going to be. We'll have links and such on our website and details afterwards. If you're interested, you can check us out at trueformlife.com.
Yeah, and again, 80-20, going back to that 80-20 rule, right? It's important to stay on track throughout Valentine's Day and other holidays because it's always something. If we're like, oh, it's Valentine's Day, I'll just eat the crap out of some candies, right? Because it's my 20%. But that 20% is always something because after Valentine's Day comes St. Patrick's Day. After St. Patrick's Day comes Easter. After that, it's always something.
Right. So do your best to stay on track.
Yeah, and that's why we're here. We're going to have lots of recipes and things coming out geared towards how to have a healthy Valentine's Day.
And then we have a quote to end off with?
Yeah, we do. And the giving that we were talking about, the 80-20 rule, we said make it a lifestyle, not a duty. So when you make this your lifestyle, instead of it being like work that we are continually doing, if it's your lifestyle, if you love doing it, then it doesn't have to become that, then you don't feel like you need a break from it, with that 20%.
Yeah, and it's not work.
It's not work, yeah.
A lot of times, they say, do what you love and love what you do, you're going to be good at it. And I think that if you can translate that to living a healthy lifestyle, you're not always someone always says, so I can never have a cheeseburger again. We just try to explain, once you continue to live a healthy lifestyle, those types of things usually kind of get pushed aside. You're like, oh, maybe I'll have a healthy salad. And I know that sounds like a stretch to some people that are kind of just starting out or don't quite understand what we mean. But stick with it, and you will. And you'll start to enjoy these little things. You'll start to enjoy your workout. You'll start to enjoy a monster salad or something like that.
It's funny because, years ago, when I kind of began my journey, I had a friend to ask me, so you never, this means you'll never have a Big Mac ever again? Never? And it's not the fact that I don't get to have one. It's the fact that I don't want it. Don't want it anymore, right? So, Just a little side note I put in there. But you will. A lot of people, Drew was saying, a lot of people, like, starting out, some people have a hard time understanding that, but you will get, if you make it your lifestyle, then you will get to that point where it's like, you don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's going to wrap it up for today, or this week's D&D Morning Show. As always, thanks so much for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us live.
And I hope you enjoyed the live version. We'll get back to, next couple weeks here, we'll get back to
Our not live versions.
Yeah. But if you want more lives, let us know, because we're always happy to sit here in front of you and answer questions or topics or whatever you have going on.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next show.
See you guys.
Bye.
I have to turn it off. Can't edit this out.